really dark. So I've, as you can see, or if you're new to the channel, this is one of my camps. I've actually not been back here since early spring, something like that. Thought, as soon as I was in the area, I thought I'd check it out. And yeah, no one's been here still. Everything is in place, which is good. It's nice to know. This is a really, really well hidden little camp here. I'm gonna get a brew on. A bit thirsty. Oh, it's trying to rain. Just check my phone on the forecast because it was supposed to be nice today. I couldn't quite understand why it's clouded up so much, but it has. Got a couple of new pieces of kit. So I've got a French cup. It's like their version of the Crusader mug. I got that from when I was down in Devon, along with this handy little thing. Collapsible kettle. Picked that up I think for £5 in the auction. It's all for Devon and Cornwall Air Ambulance. So I bought a few little bits. So I got that. This little everyday folding penknife. It's razor sharp, that is. I sharpened it up to a German one. Solingen, yeah. Solingen German. Mercator, it's called. It's probably not how you pronounce it, but oh well. But yeah, it's a nice little knife. I just wanted one that, you know, a folding knife that was a little bit better than a Swiss in terms of sharpening. That's a carbon steel one. So yeah, it is prone to rust, but you know, it so it is what it is. I was gonna find. I was in a bit of a rush this morning, so I'm gonna drop my other half off at work. Coffee. Little magic tin. I'll tell you a bit more what's in that in a minute. There we go. So I'm just going to set the stove up, get a brew on, and then I'll we'll have a wee chat. Right. Okay. That didn't take long. It took about 2 minutes to boil. I don't know how to get in these things. There we go. Mocha. Bit of sugar. So let's make it a sweet one. The only thing I'd say about these French Crusader mugs, they're made out of aluminium. And they don't half conduct heat. Aluminium's terrible really for conducting heat. So that's going to take quite a while to cool down. But while it is cooling down, put that there. I'll show you what's in the tin. Even if it is raining a little bit, hopefully it won't be too bad. Ooh. So, the tin. I have a traditional firelighting kit. A friend of mine, Mark, gave this to me. So we have a high carbon steel striker, some bits of flint, some char cloth, and there's a bit of well, a bit of old rope really. You can use. I'm gonna try and get this going, but not directly from getting a spark on this. Ooh, I think the sun's trying to come out. So this is basically what you do is you just, you know, I don't know how well you can see these sparks. That's sparking quite well actually. So what I'll do is I'm going to get that out because I want to try and get one of these going. Get a bit of char cloth. This is really easy to make, char cloth. I'll close this up because I don't want it getting any moisture in there. I'm going to light the char cloth, get that smouldering, and I'm going to then try and smoulder the end of that and get it going that way. So the way I'm going to do it is I'm just going to put a bit of char cloth on the edge of there, and what I'm hoping to do is catch a spark. There we go. Just one landed on it. This will burn really hot and it'll burn really quick as well. So I just want to smoulder the end of this. I'm probably going to drop it at this point. Get it on the, so I don't burn myself. What I'm hoping to do is just char the end of this. Right, so that's now smouldering. Just going to and I'm going to extinguish it. Right, that's out now. So hopefully this should now take a spark. If I put that over the end, put it on this side, And same thing, I'm just wanting to, for one spark, just to jump up, hopefully, if that's charred enough on the end. It's actually not sparking too well now. Needs to be fairly sharp on this. Almost had it then. Getting some little sparks just to land in. Just I don't think that's quite charred enough on the end, so try again with a little bit more char cloth. So the char cloth works really well. So I'm just trying to get, there we go, one tiny spark there, and you can sort of see how it's glowing pretty well. Just as the rain's coming. No. Oh, at least that's taken. Ah. Well, that's smouldering. Yeah, it's not smouldering too greatly though. So there we have it, that's my new traditional firelighting kit. I would say in terms of still my my preferable, I was looking for a piece that I'll have left. There we go. I'd still say my preference in terms of firelighting is birch bark and a ferro rod, but that's still a really good way because you're just getting an ember. It's the same as if you're using bow drill or using Amadou or King Alfred's cake, cramp balls, that sort of thing, where you're getting an ember. You've then got to transfer that ember into a flame. So then you do need dry tinder, and you know, another tinder, like, you know, sedge or grass, bracken, leaves even, if you were desperate. So yeah, in terms of reliability, you can get a fire going with it, yeah, but like I say, you need something dry to actually then blow into flame. I do prefer ferro rod, you know, like this, ferricidium, you know, Swedish fire steel, whatever you want to call them. It's just that with them, with the use of birch bark, or even if you're in pine forest, you can get pine resin, well, fat wood anyway, and you can get that going into a flame, and once you've got a flame, you can easily build from that. It's much easier. Yeah, I mean, ferricidium rods are really, you know, it is quite a modern technology. These are, you know, these have been around for hundreds of years, and the principle of it has been around for thousands and thousands of years. The only difference is really there is that the striker, this high carbon steel striker here that's been hand forged, you would use iron parites, which is the natural occurring lump of iron, and the sparks from that are even colder than you get from that, but that is the way that our ancestors made fire, and well, that's the way that it's been done for a good couple of hundred years anyway, at least. So yeah, here's my plane. There's always one. Yeah, the weather's really changeable today. So when I set off, it was nice, bright and sunny. Got here, it started clouding over. We had a little bit of rain. Now it's brightened up again. There's a little bit of cloud up there, but yeah, it's not too bad. And my coffee is now cool enough to drink, even if I have got a bit of leaf litter in there. But just a short video really today. Not had a huge amount of time for stuff. I'm really busy with getting the Land Rover ready for its MOT. Keep finding problems with it. So if you remember, bought it, when did I get it? The beginning of the British school holidays, so I've had it about 7 weeks now. I knew there were a few things that needed doing to it, so that the rear chase, or the part of the ladder chassis, needs replacing, because that's fairly rotten out. It's quite a common thing on the Land Rover Discoveries for that to happen. So I've ordered the chase. That's on its way down from Newcastle. So I've got that to weld on, and that's getting sent to my dad's. So I've got that to weld on at some point in the next week or so. I've found a couple of leaks, so I've got a coolant leak somewhere. I'm not sure where that's coming from, so I've had to order a UV kit. So it's like a dye that you put into your coolant. You run the engine and you get like a UV torch, and you inspect round, and wherever it lights up, then that's where your leak is. So I've got that. I've got a feeling it's coming from the water heater, because I did find a bit of moisture there, but I need to be 100% on that. That, you know, it was in the morning when I found that moisture. It could be just a bit of condensation that's dripped down. I've also got a leak on the camshaft cover, so I've ordered a new one of them with new seals. That's a pretty easy fix. The power steering, I've got a slight leak where it comes out of the reservoir that goes down from the pipe, from the pipe on the reservoir, where it goes from the reservoir down to the pump. It's leaking from the connection, so hopefully I might get away with just cleaning the hose out, and then putting a new clip on it, an actual sort of like more sturdy Jubilee clip rather than these sort of like spring tension clips. What else? I've got to replace the rear door lock, because that's failed. I've had to jimmy it so you can't open it from the outside at all. I need 2 new front tyres. I did replace the two back ones because they needed doing straight away. But the two front tyres were summer tyres and I didn't have the money to replace them as well at the same time. So I've got that to do. The only thing that's slightly concerning me is I have repaired a couple of cracks that are in the windscreen. Although they are sealed, there's two that don't quite look. They don't look as good as they could do. Because the injector stuff, it didn't penetrate all the way into the cracks. So, hoping it doesn't fail on that. Although we'll say to the MOT guy, we'll actually point it out and we'll say they have been sealed. Sure, there's something else. 3 leaks, tyres, chase, door. I think that's it. There's got to be something else. I'm sure there's something else. Oh yeah, there's 3 amigos. So I got a it's a diagnostic tool that you plug in because I knew there was a problem somewhere along with the ABS. Usually it's on one of the speed wheel sensors that control the ABS for each wheel. So I ran the diagnostic thinking it was going to be one of them, and it isn't. It's the solenoid valve that actually regulates the ABS straight from the ABS pump. It's not too hard a fix, and it's not really any more expensive than the other. So it did come up electrical fault on that, so I'm going to replace that. Hopefully it is that. If it's not, it's going to be one of the connectors that goes from the computer down to that. So it could be a case of rewiring that if it's not the actual solenoid valve itself. So yeah, a lot to do. I've actually got limited time off this month as well, because there's a couple of people on holiday this month at work, so yeah, not a huge amount of time. So a lot of my days off are actually going to be spent fixing that. I might actually do a little video on some of the stuff that I will repair to it. Because the Land Rover is now a big part of the channel and what I do. So, and if you were calling it a bug out vehicle, it's essential to know some of the maintenance behind it. So yeah, I'll probably do a few bits and bobs. There's a little bit of a video to show you the headache that I'm having at the moment with that. But anyway, yeah, just a little video today. Oh, incidentally, I found another Birch Polypore. It's coming home with me. I'll just take this end bit off. This is part of my now yearly health sort of thing. So, past 2 years, past 2 autumns and winters and into spring, I've been drinking this as a tea. Dry it out. It takes about 10 grams dried weight. Simmer it for an hour, or at least an hour, and then just drink it. It is quite bitter. If you're into a bit of teas, then you'll probably be okay with it. I'm not. So I put in like a fruit tea, sort of like tea bag in there, and a couple of spoons of sugar, and then just sort of like knock it back. But it has been successful. I haven't had a cough or a cold or the flu, and that's the flu was the main thing I was trialling on it, because I heard that it's got antiviral properties. So it is good for things like coughs, colds, and particularly flu. Since the swine flu epidemic that came out some years ago, I got that. I felt really, really bad with it. It really affected my chest. While I had that flu, I ended up on a nebulizer. I was in hospital actually for a bit. and every year after that I ended up getting flu, and I never used to get the flu. So I'd read up on this Birch Polypore, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to trial it because I'm sick and tired of getting the flu. So started picking it in, because it's September now. Started picking it in September 2 years ago. That first year I didn't get a cough, I didn't get a cold, and certainly didn't get the flu. I tried it again through last autumn, winter, same thing, didn't have a cough, cold or flu. I'm going to be doing the same thing this year. It's going to be part of my yearly routine. I don't get ill now. I'm not saying that it's going to work for everybody, but it's certainly working for me. I will say that it's definitely working for me. So if you're in an area where this grows, then by all means try it. It's sort of chestnutty brown on the top. You'll only find it growing on silver birch. It's very creamy white underneath, and it has a very earthy, mushroomy sort of smell. It's also known as razor strop fungus, because you can use this as a strop for stropping your knife. The underside, in fact I'll show you on this, because it's got antibacterial properties in there. If you get a cut on your finger, if you've been using a knife or anything, just get your knife, cut a strip down there, and basically what you're doing is you're making a plaster. This will only really work on the young funguses, but when they start getting old and a little bit thicker, heavier, but that'll just peel off. Well, it should just peel off anyway. There we go. Nah, it's not quite peeled off brilliantly though, but yeah, it's not quite worked that. Let's see if I can get it from the other end. This might actually be slightly too young, so that yeah, it's not ripping brilliantly. So it will actually stick to itself slightly, but that's the sort of principle of it. So squish it down and use it as you can use it as a plaster basically, and it'll keep it clean. And yeah, that's actually stuck on there fairly well. In fact, it's better than some of the cheap waterproof plasters that you can buy. And yeah, so you can use it as a plaster, you know, as an emergency plaster if you haven't got any. And look, that's actually holding pretty well. And that's two pieces that actually split. Like I say, it does stick to itself fairly well. So yeah, various different uses. So it is good. It's a good all-round. I call it a medical mushroom. So yeah. Anyway, that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. What else? Oh yeah, something I've noticed, I don't think everyone is getting notifications when I'm putting content out. I've heard it is a thing that YouTube have started doing. They're not pushing content out there to subscribers as much. So the only thing I can say is, even if you've clicked the bell, I've heard this, so just, I mean, on the safe side, just click the bell if if you are a subscriber, so you know you're going to get a higher chance of getting a notification. But otherwise, just keep coming back to the channel every week and just seeing if I've put anything new out. I know at the moment I haven't been getting I haven't been getting a video out every week like I used to, but yeah, it's because I'm having to do this other job at the moment. Hopefully that's going to change. I'm going to start making some stuff with my friend. He's got a forge. We're going to do a bit of forge work. I'm going to start doing some more leather work again. So I'm going to do some custom ferro rods. They'll have like antler handles on. They'll have their own little, almost like leather sheath type thing. I'm gonna make some tinder pouches. I'm gonna do them to order. So if people want one, get in touch. There's some satchels. So you know, if you've seen the satchel that I wear or use, I'm gonna make some of those as well. And yeah, I'm gonna try and make more of a living from doing stuff I enjoy doing. So like doing this, the YouTube channel, going out and teaching, and crafting as well. So yeah, that's on the agenda. That's the plan. That's hopefully what I can get to. I mean, that's sort of been the plan for a while, but yeah, getting there has been difficult, but we'll see. Anyway, but thanks to all your support, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye for now.